One of the most overrated lightweights, to take a term from Trump's vocabulary, is former South Carolina governor and former Trump ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley wasted no time in appearing on farcical Newsmax, hosted by Sean Spicer. Yeah, that Sean Spicer, Trump's pathetic former press secretary, Sean Spicer. And she went on to talk to Sean Spicer on Newsmax, rehabilitating the same tired, predictable talking points that I've been telling you for a year now would instantly reappear when a Democrat is sworn into office and Donald Trump leaves. Now, a year ago, we didn't even know which Democrat it might be that replaces Donald Trump, but it didn't matter. No matter which Democrat replaced Trump, they would go, oh, debt and deficit. We can't afford this. We can't afford that. The far left socialists are taking over. We knew what the playbook was going to be. And here is Nikki Haley playing her role, saying that Joe Biden's far left foreign policy is going to be very dangerous. Listen to her answer after Sean Spicer manages to cough out this softball question.
You have this new op-ed out that you talk about the Democrats going leftward. But I want to talk about this in the context of Biden and his foreign policy, specifically who he's appointed and the policies that he's going to pursue. Can you kind of talk about where you think the Biden foreign policy and the Biden personnel picks are going to go direction-wise?
I mean, look, I'm not going to lie. I'm extremely concerned about what's going on. You've got Iran. They're in the process of producing nuclear weapons. And here Biden wants to get back into the Iran deal.
She's very concerned by, notice the idiocy of what she says. She says, look, Iran is producing nuclear weapons and Biden wants back into the deal. Don't let them trick you. OK, first of all, Iran is resuming research into nuclear. They're not producing weapons yet, but they could. But what she's saying is not true. But yes, Iran is resuming research. Why is Iran resuming research into nuclear power and nuclear energy, which could be used for weapons? Iran is doing that because they abided by the nuclear deal that Barack Obama struck with them. Trump came into office and simply canceled it without Iran having done anything wrong. So, of course, as I told you the day Trump did this, that Iran was going to go back to nuclear research, and they did. The Iran deal was the only thing keeping Iran from doing the nuclear research. And now Nikki Haley is already blaming Biden for wanting to get back into the deal, which was actually working to stop Iran from developing. Is this bad faith or is Nikki that ignorant? I have a really hard time believing that Nikki Haley is this ignorant. I assume that this is just bad faith pandering to a radical Newsmax audience that doesn't know any better. Let's listen to a little bit more of this.
When you look at his picks for cabinet and otherwise, I mean, from John Kerry to Susan Rice, you don't have to be, that much of a historian to know where this is going. And I think this is going to be to the left of Obama. I think we need to hold on to our wallet. And I think we need to stop with all of the finger pointing and the he said, she said, and we've got to get to work. This is going to hurt. And we need to really be focused on where we're going to go from here.
Isn't that just outrageous and pathetic? John Kerry and Susan Rice, completely uncontroversial, milquetoast, moderate Democrats. Nothing radical about John Kerry and Susan Rice. Nothing socialist about them. John Kerry, very smart, more than well qualified, understands climate issues. These are the far left scary people now. John Kerry is far left now. And then, of course, she says, we've got to hold on to our wallets. What? You might be wondering, what is she talking about? Trump exploded the deficit more than any recent president, more than Obama, more than Bush. Clinton had a surplus, never mind. What is she talking about? The stimulus and infrastructure spending that Biden wants is much needed. It generates revenue by creating jobs and putting money back into the hands of small businesses. So I hate that I'm right about this. I hate that I was right. And many of you were as well. You emailed me and said, David, they're going back to debt and deficit and all of this stuff. They aren't even waiting for Joe Biden to be sworn in to get back to the pathetic talking points that we had a 4-year break from. The question is, are the same right wingers going to fall for these same talking points again, or has the ship sailed? Remains to be seen. But there is going to be plenty of this on Fox News, on OAN, and on Newsmax. And it is going to take everything we have to take a group that they're already so in need of deprogramming. And now you're going to see Newsmax and OAN scale up, and maybe you'll see Fox News do it as well to try to keep up with them. It's going to be a very much uphill battle, and they are wasting no time.